Stepping in the spot like she own it. Looking like the world is your runway. She can set it off like a gunplay. Oh my, yeah. Talk of the city with that body. Always getting praised like it's Sunday. She said, baby, what you gonna do?
Hello, hey, 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 hey,
Hello. Okay, I quit.
Hello.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. Hey, so welcome back to another episode of Tribe Foolery. And I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Candy.
I'm Tom.
I'm Amanda.
And Shakira's not with us. Oh, sorry. Shakira's with us through Zoom is what I would say. So you guys going to have to definitely bear with me on this episode. But we're going to talk about some insecurities today.
Because she's nervous as shit. I had to bring that back.
Yeah.
From the first episode.
Yes,
Oh,
I am, but I'm not as nervous as the first episode
That
for
shit was
sure.
That first episode was something else. We went over that several times in the car.
Right.
And Candy got up in here and said, "Hi, my name's Candy, and I'm nervous as shit." I said, "No, we did not talk about that."
Y'all gross. I love us.
I
I'm
know.
sorry. Oh.
I don't know. I just don't like the spotlight on me. Like, it's different when I'm just a part of, like, you know, not
That's
the person
who
asking the
came
question.
up with this shit.
Right.
Okay.
The person.
We came up with this.
Why are we speaking
No.
French?
Because I had a dream about us doing this, and that was all of us in this dream.
Girl,
so
this
we
was
came up with
not
this.
a dream. This was you watching them
I
goddamn
did.
women.
So I was watching Sex in the City, the new little thingy, whatever, and old girl was doing the podcast, and she wasn't really doing that good, and they was hyping her up. And so I was like, damn, we could do this, and that's the first thing crossed my mind. And then I dreamt that we did it.
Ah, okay.
And so I was like,
They
see,
telling her
that's
about
a
these
sign.
dreams.
We
She
can do
dreamt
it.
that we did it, and then the next thing you know, we get a text.
We
Hey,
doing it.
we're going to meet at such and such place at such and such time.
I mean, we discussed
our
it
topics.
before. We discussed it before that. Like, you know,
Yeah,
we brewed
on
it.
and off, because I definitely started with no, as per usual, because Candy be dreaming about all types of shit. Candy jumped out of a plane because she dreamed about it. I don't be trying to play with her dream.
Anyway,
I'm
that's what
sorry.
poppin'.
That's my, you know,
All right,
I don't
Mama,
know.
we
I'm
go-
not
we
wrapped too
gonna
tight. All right, Mama. Shakira is
We gonna
definitely
get
like the mom of
focused.
the group. If y'all don't know, she is definitely not the oldest, but she the mama because she be trying not to kill our joy sometimes. Let us be children. But we love you for it though, because you help keep us focused. All right. So, I actually got some feedback today on some stuff that we can talk about, but
I
we'll
want to be petty boots. And Mr. Boots. I
Don't.
But
want
we
to
won't.
so
don't
bad.
be
I'm
petty.
not, though.
Don't be petty. But I got some good I guess you could say question from a friend that we can use today. However, but first I want to touch up on what I already had. So
Shout out.
no shout outs. No shout outs. So
What you
So
scared
let's-
for?
no, I'm not scared. I just
Ooh,
don't
why
want to
you
shout
stirring the pot
out.
all the way
Like,
over yonder?
don't be doing that. Don't do that. So, so first we're gonna start off with insecurity and what it is. Insecurity is a feeling of inadequacy, not believing that you're good enough, or an uncertainty. So. We know what that is, even though everybody knew. However, I came across this blog from Better Up, and it's called Improve Confidence in 10 Ways to Overcome Insecurities. Now, of course, I'm not going to go over the whole blog, but one of the, in this particular blog, and it's written by Shauna Waters, by the way, in case you want to look it up, the three types of insecurities. One was personal, professional, and then relationship. Now, I did come across another blog, which I have on here. I'll pull that up later. And it stated other insecurities, other types of insecurities. And I believe it was a lot more than three. But as I read them, it kind of, they fell under that mirror, like basically that mirror for them.
Our umbrella.
Yeah. So let me get this pulled back up. Wrong one. Look, I pulled the one up that had the other one because the other one said 19 types of insecurities.
Damn.
Yeah, and that wasn't it. So, okay, here we go. Oh, and Shauna Waters is definitely a black lady, which we love that too. And I do believe Better Up is also for, like, if anyone's seeking therapy or anything like that. So that's kind of like where this is based out of. All right, so we're going to start with personal insecurities. And what would you think out of you guys? We could start with Wim, since she's our group or tribe therapist.
No.
Personal insecurity. What would you consider personal insecurities? Goof troop. Were you licking the microphone?
No. Yes. It was an accident. It was too close to my face. Anyway, to get focused. Because Shakira's
And
gonna
you need
kill
to
us.
put it down a little bit because it's covering your face.
I did.
She trying to do
There we
mic
go.
check 1, 2, 1,
I was
2.
trying to leave it where. Anyway, a personal security is the security that you might have about yourself. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Wait, I missed the question.
What do you think personal insecurities is?
It's an insecurity that you have about yourself.
Well, yeah. Okay, so I'm pretty sure y'all gonna give me the same thing. So yes, it is, but technically insecurities are all, if you want to be technical, all about yourself. But when you're talking about personal insecurities, the way she has it here, it's referring to like your physical self. So like the
like what I'm
insecurities
insecure
you're
about
insecure about with your
personally.
physical self. Yeah. So like even though you may have insecurities about yourself in general from these other two categories, it's not necessarily your physical. Like so when you have professional, that's your work insecurities, which you feel inadequate
That's
in
that
work.
imposter syndrome.
Right, which is still about you. Exactly. That's
exactly.
actually what that is. And then relationships, of course, you feel like you're not good enough for the relationship and all of those aspects. So we're going to touch upon those particular things. And first, I would like to ask, do any of you have any insecurities that you would like to share? And do you
it to
feel
Amanda.
that you, and like whether it's some that you have or have not overcome, if you want, I can start first.
We love
Yeah,
that.
go first.
She just threw you in there. So I think that my biggest, I think I've had insecurities in all three of these particular things. But like, we can start with, I think more so my biggest
I'm
one.
joke, Shakira.
Hush your face, girl. So one of the biggest ones I would definitely say would be professional. And the only reason I say the professional one is because when I read what falls under professionalism, not professionalism, but professional insecurities, it's about feeling inadequate with your work ethic or your capabilities. And I'm very big on trying to feel like I can accomplish everything. So me feeling like I'm failing at that, even if I'm doing that with anything else, with people around me, and it doesn't have to be in a work setting, I struggle with that, and I have a tendency to overcompensate. I don't think that I've overcome it, but I have learned to give myself a little more grace and see some of the work that I do might be.
It's the
enough.
visuals for me that's happening over this.
She's lucky that
It's
she's
the
over
visuals.
there.
I was
Okay.
about to say who
I
won't
can
get
go
her,
next.
but she got herself.
Huh?
I was about to say who won't get her on this, but she got herself.
She did.
So.
She got herself
I
together.
did.
I can give you one that I'm working on overcoming, and that is the personal side, because like, what am I 40? I turned 43 this year. Last year I turned 42. Okay, so I gotta work it out. Be like, wait, how old am I now?
Pickles.
So
Yeah.
one of the things as being a
Just
bigger
like-
person was like, it was always like, I always felt like, I don't want to say inadequate, but I always felt like I had to be like the wing woman, or I had to be like the funny friend, or I had to be like
Yes.
this caricature of who I am. And it's like last year when I turned 42, I don't know what clicked, but something was like, fuck all that shit. like fuck it. Like, why are you trying to be all of this shit? Just be you and be comfortable in who you are, and that's enough. And granted, it's not an everyday thing, but for the most part, I'd be like, fuck it. You gonna get this belly, you gonna get this chin, you gonna get these thighs, you gonna get this lack of booty that we building. Like, you
Come
gonna
on,
get it
Bill.
all. And it's really been one of the most freeing things, because I no longer give a shit about what people think. And it's like, you know, like, because it's like in the back of your head, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be single because I'm fat and all this shit. And it's like, bitch, hey, all these bitches on 600-pound life have niggas. Why are you tripping? Like, what's the deal? And it's like, okay, well, what is that about? And I realized that was something that I had been working through since childhood. And it was just like, to be able to finally let that shit go from there and then work into the woman that I am today, it's like, man, I'm dope.
Yeah.
And like really walking in that and accepting that, and like, and it's really changed my life. And granted, there are days where you still have those issues like, oh shit, nope, I didn't do that right, or you feel like a way about yourself. But it's like talking yourself through that to be like, no, bitch, put on that dress, do it.
Yes.
Put on them shoes, do it.
And Amanda,
That's
if y'all
hard.
get to the point where the dude is there in your vicinity
Look,
and he coming over or whatever, that
look,
means that he already know what's here and he like what's
that
here
part.
and keep it moving. I had to learn that recently.
We know. We know.
Baby.
Recently.
Baby.
We know.
It's I tickle.
But no.
So
As y'all know, I don't have any insecurities. Shakira.
Oh, you lying.
You are-
That is not what we're doing here. You could just say, I don't want to talk about my insecurities.
I have not thought about it. The only thing I can think about is work life. So like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And due to the nature of what I do, it's kind of a matter of practice what you preach. Like you are seeing that there's evidence contrary to what you're thinking or feeling about yourself. So instead of allowing your anxiety or your thoughts or your insecurities be in control, how about you take that evidence as face value? So that's kind of the thing that I can say for sure that I suffer with the most now. Everything else, I'd be like, okay, well, probably ain't much I can do about it. So, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with me.
yeah. So
Oh no, I'm sorry. Wait, and you said the last one was uncertainty. So like
Yes.
uncertainty in the event, I think that's a big one. But you know, it
Yes.
depends obviously on situations.
Right.
Me and Shakira have this thing. I know you say Shakira is the mama, and it's because I'm just way more childish. But we be here for the time thing, and we be here for, okay, what is happening, and are we going to stick to that plan?
let's write it down.
Can we write it down? Okay.
This is true.
I need a little security and
I feel like you and I are more
And
like,
sometimes
okay,
Fuck it,
sometimes
go
I try
happen.
to go with the flow.
Let it happen.
It just don't work.
Let
I
it
can't
happen.
let it happen. I've tried it.
Hey,
Well-
you let it happen before, and it was great.
Yes, you did. Let it all happen.
she did.
Anyway, my insecurity. My
You let it
insecurity is definitely like being a bigger girl. I will say like that's one of my insecurities. But I think it's because like I'm my own worst critic. So like I'll look in the mirror. Like I thought I was big when I was 130 pounds. But
Yeah.
that's because I had hips and thighs and stuff. And all of the girls around me were wearing like size 0,
You were in
1,
Kansas.
2.
Yeah.
I was about to
And
say
I
you
was
were where
saying-
people didn't have
Dorothy,
hips
you
and
was
thighs.
in Kansas. Dorothy,
like
come on
chicks.
now.
And I was wearing a size like 5'7". So I just knew I was big. So, but then, you know, I think as I get older, I'm just kind of like, man, fuck it. Hey, I don't,
Yeah.
like I just told you, Amanda, if we get to the point where you're in my presence and we around each other and we
You already know
outside,
what's up.
it is what it is. Like you like what you see. So I need to learn to love what I see, not like, but love what I see.
Yeah.
And I'm getting there. I'm trying to love my big body. So when I get to my small body, I'll appreciate any body that I'm in. Right.
So I could constantly tell her to put her clothes on like I have to tell Candace.
Look here.
What?
It's going to be a
I'm
problem.
not, bruh, when I get small, I'm
It's
not
going to
wearing
be
no
a problem.
clothes.
Friends.
No clothes. These stretch marks going to be on display.
Okay. Front of the
And
store.
I think professionally, one of my biggest insecurities is not doing the job correctly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I work in like healthcare. So if I don't do something right, it can actually affect somebody's life. It can affect their health. So when I don't know what I'm doing and I ask questions and get ignored, or I ask questions and they're just like, yeah, that's the right way to do it. But in my mind, I'm like, this can't be the way to do it. I'm always second guessing myself, and I'm just like, I need to, for this specific situation, I need to make sure that it's done right, because dealing with cancer patients, them not being able to get their chemo can possibly affect their entire
Right.
living
Yeah.
situation. So yeah.
Okay.
I feel that work thing is real.
It is.
And you don't realize how it affects everything else sometimes.
And I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we you
Well,
and I
we
talked about it. Like we talked about it.
Right. And one of the things I did want to ask too, like, do you think I know that most people with their insecurities, it does affect like the choices or the decisions that they make, right? But I personally think that it's not insecurities alone. I think it's insecurities mixed with trauma or things that may have happened that made those insecurities feel heightened or like justifying those insecurities. Because I think that everybody may have some form of insecurities, like religion, but for the insecurity to be detrimental, let me rephrase that. So the insecurities for it to be detrimental to you as far as going forward with your life.
Yeah.
I think that it affects you more in a negative way in how you're doing things if it's taking control due to you allowing the trauma or whatever it was that heightened that insecurity.
It could be. It really depends. I think it's situational.
Yeah,
I
I do
think-
think that it depends on what that particular insecurity is. And of course, if there is any trauma attached to it, what that might be, and where you are with managing it, if it has that sort of effect. But I'm trying to think about an insecurity relating to work, and then the only thing that I think trauma-wise is if you have, like, because we've talked before about just how we are about making sure that we make enough money or being able to make sure that bills are covered in advance and things like that. And so I guess if you're looking at it from that perspective, whatever trauma that we have regarding finances, yeah, I think that could definitely play a big role in feeling like I got to make sure that I'm on top of this type of work. I got to make sure that I'm going above and beyond, or at least I'm doing everything correctly, as if people don't make mistakes.
Right. And also, like with the trauma too, I think that even aside from just financial, not trying to fall like, because we all big on finances, because I go into a deep stupor if it comes on finances being fucked up. However, I do think that it play a major part on us being Black women, because we do a lot of us look at our worth based off of our ability of what we can do, not necessarily who we are.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that a lot of it is mixed with trauma and insecurities. Those insecurities are heightened on how we move. Because do you ever really truly get rid of insecurities?
Hell yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
I think you can, like, because it's a frame of mind where it's like, no, I choose not to believe that, and I choose to walk on this path instead of this one. So I really do think that it is something you can overcome, but it's going to take the work, and it's going to take.
Well, let me restate that then. What I mean by do you ever truly get over it? Because realistically, we are human, right? So if you're human, you're still like, even if you overcome it to the extent of like for instance, I told you my goal was to focus on trying to find positivity and happiness again, right? And within myself and not externally, and work on my trauma. And I feel like 10 times lighter, right? Then I'm like, when do we finish this healing process?
And
but
I keep telling you, miss,
that it doesn't stop, right? So the same thing with insecurities. Like, would that not still seep back in? Like, just the same thing with everything else. It's like a constant working battle. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be as hard as it was when you started, and it may be easier most days because it's not a problem because I'm not thinking this way most days. But do you ever truly completely get rid of it? Like, that never seeps back into your mind. Because if everything else seeps back, I'm about to say, if everything else seeps back in your mind, I don't see that you will truly be over it. But I guess you can say in a sense, almost like be able to conquer it and live with it, because it's not something that's controlling your life. It's there periodically, but it's not controlling you anymore.
I think that there are things that you may actually just, that's something I experienced when I was younger. I'm I'm an adult. I love this particular part about me now.
Yeah.
Like, you can completely flip in mindset about a certain aspect of whatever you may have been insecure about. When I was younger, we used to say respect it or check it. And so it's either I don't like this, I'm either respect what it is and accept it, or I'm going to check it and I'm going to change it. And I don't know if that means necessarily that you're overcoming it, or that if you are changing things in order to manage something, if that means that it's still in a way controlling you. But I think if you do manage to change something to feel more secure about something that you may have felt insecure about, then maybe hopefully that mindset dissipates. Hopefully. But that is not always the case.
I do feel like
Don't
shit
be
will try
yawning
to
like
come
that.
back,
We
though.
can see you.
Facts. Not tired.
I'm not gonna say. But no, I was saying, I feel like shit will come back to check you, like just to like temperature check you. Like you can
You say
be
you
through
over it. Is you over it?
Right.
Or no?
Because I've had a
And
lot of
it'll be
tests.
Like, tap tap tap. Hey girl, so you remember this right here?
Shit, because I would call women about some stuff and be like, I feel better about, like, I'm over this. And then here it is, boom. Like,
I think
you
it's
sure?
like triggers.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
sure?
Triggers,
Like,
though.
nah.
Because like I'll start feeling really okay with the body that I'm
Man,
in,
I want the rest of
and
these.
then that
You better not suck no
sorry,
balls.
I'm
One of them.
but they'll come at you quick and be like, "You don't think you should lose some weight,
It's just a little knock on the door.
Yep.
Don't you?
Yeah.
I think my biggest test is like when I'm like, you know what? Because I know that I can be very protective, right? And I think part of that does come out of shut your face.
It's
That
on candid camera."
I said sometimes, not all the times. And I think that does come from a place of trauma as well, to try to protect the people that I care about, especially things that happened when I was younger. And so I told myself, like, one of the reasons for choosing peace is because, like, I realize that sometimes I don't always have to protect a situation. And so choosing peace means stepping aside and giving myself some peace or ease of mind. But every time I said it, I've been doing good in choosing peace. It's like some shit pop off. And it's like, girl, did you really choose peace? Because then I'm just like, all right, Shakira, go ahead and look up that Cuba trip because, baby.
Look, why you gotta call me to be the accomplice?
Because you take the time to look up shit. What? Like,
Find the cheapest route. To
right.
Get there.
Right. Like, let's just be honest. Everybody has their
I
strong
think-
points.
I think that might be. I think I was thinking about it more and that really is a insecurity of ours. Like when we're constantly have to plan stuff and like it has to be organized. Because I don't think I like the chaos and the things that I really hate when things go wrong. Like when they
can
don't
definitely
go
be
according to the
trauma-based.
plan.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't fathom it. It really weighs on me. So that's why I like things written out. And it's gotten so bad to now
But-
I schedule in chaos for when it happens.
That's bad. That is bad. See, well, maybe if you don't schedule everything to a T, then it can't go
Girl,
wrong because
please.
it's
Last
not
night,
scheduled
me
to a
and
T.
Shakira was talking about we need to be making sure that we're scheduling the naps for any trip that we go on. We need to schedule the nap time. Just
I'ma
last
need
night,
y'all
me and
to
Shakira
get
was
it.
talking
Okay,
about
so
that.
how about y'all only schedule the naps and let's wing it? Let's do it. Just I think that's also another that may just yes. We gotta hit these insecurities head on. So we're going to if everybody else can face their shit,
Candy.
y'all can face y'all.
And
Look,
we just wing
let it happen.
I do it. I do it every time I'm with your ass. Every single time. And every time we either late somewhere, we spend a shit ton of money.
Well, no, that's different. That's not vacation time.
Oh, but we be winging it though.
We do. Because see, the thing is, we understand the importance of experience the day and the moment.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And-
Except for
Is
when
it
we
a
got
bon
somewhere to
relay?
be.
That's true.
Or we said that we
is
were trying to
true.
save money just the day before.
Facts.
But I mean, look, I try to fix this side of the brain to work with this side. It just doesn't. So one side be like,
That's what I
let's
tried.
do it.
That's what I tried with the Universal trip. I was like, I'm not gonna like plan it to a T. I'm gonna just say we eating dinner this day, we going to the park this day, and we doing Disney.
But
That
Disney
works kind of
Springs.
well too.
It
during the
did.
day.
And I think the only reason that you would probably feel like that was just because I was just assuming a whole layout schedule because you planned it.
10 o'clock.
Like I was assuming like we gonna have like
1.
9 o'clock this, 10 o'clock this. All right, you only got 30 minutes for this. Like so that's what I was anticipating. But no, I do think that we should go out and just wing it. And I think that another thing, like of course, like not being prepared, but maybe do you think that one of your things being made the fear of the unknown? Of a like not knowing what will happen.
I think everybody has that fear. I think
I'm talking about you with this gotta plan it. So I'm scared to know what could happen if I just let it happen. Is what I'm saying.
Scared to know.
Are you scared to
just
let it happen?
I don't think that.
Yes.
I don't think that's my fear when I'm constantly planning and organizing.
Okay,
stuff.
cool. We're gonna let it happen.
I definitely think it's a fear of chaos.
That's fine. It won't be chaotic. It'll be if you plan. Okay, no. If you plan. Okay, no. Okay, the plan is. Okay, so this will be the plan. The plan is let it happen. So if the plan is let it happen, you can't fear chaos because you already planned to let it happen. That was the plan.
Let the chaos happen.
I'm down for it. Sneak off to the side. Me and Wim gonna sneak off to the side
to find the bail money. That's when we're gonna be sneaking off to the side. One of us gotta live to tell the tale.
I'm with you, sis. Candy, I'm with you.
Thank you, because they over here being selfish and shit. Okay, so now, so let's get on. What was the next question? Because y'all know my brain. Because I'm over here letting it happen in my mind. I'm thinking about a bunch of bullshit we can do. It's not chaotic. I'm just thinking about all the possibilities. No. What I'm seeing is all the possibilities. You're looking at it the wrong way. That's the problem.
Shift your perspective.
Your perspective is wrong.
And you know we got a schedule to keep as you.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, now you agree.
No, not quite. If you know, yeah. Okay. All right. So the next question. So this, you know how we kind of like all talked about personal and a little bit of professional. Which I didn't think any of us was going to have a little bit of balls to talk about relationships anyway, but I'm bringing it up. So, does any of your I said, get my fucking words together. All right. So do you guys think that insecurities?
Sorry.
Chaos.
My brain is going like 90 to nothing right now, and I'm trying to slow it down so I can read my question. And that's I know these balls calm me down a whole lot.
Shit.
So
she's talking about some chocolate balls that are in salted chocolate balls that are at the bottom of some giant shake she came in with today.
Thank you.
It's good. It's good though. It's tasty. Oh, and everybody should definitely try it. It's Mo City, or is it Mo Nutrition? It's Mo City Nutrition or Mo Nutrition. But I'm just saying, people, y'all should go try it. Okay, so, but this says, do you guys think that insecurities in itself, which is a kind of question that I asked before, do you think that it's based with trauma, but not quite like this one, ruins relationships? Or do you think it's how we manage those? And do you think insecurities itself ruin relationships, or do you think how we manage those insecurities is the problem that ruins a relationship? Because even if you're on a healing process and the insecurities are still visible, do you think that there's a difference? Like having the insecurity itself, does it ruin the relationship, or how we're managing it ruins
how you're managing it?
Yeah. Because I think the insecurity is there. Right, go ahead, Shakira. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
And I say that because like my biggest insecurity when I was younger, and I guess, well, not today anymore, is getting cheated on, right? I think it's a modern day insecurity to have. But
I'm more scared of myself, though, when that happens.
Continue, Shakira.
I will come back to that. But I think as I've gotten older, I've learned that you can't control people.
Yeah.
Facts.
Right? So if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. But I also am a firm believer that whatever you do that goes against your relationship or goes against the person that's treating you with love and kindness and everything that they believe that they deserve as well as you deserve will come out.
Every time.
So you can go over there and cheat with Keisha, okay?
Just
but
giving
Keisha
Keisha's a
might
bad
slide in my
rap.
DMs. Keisha might send me a text message. Keisha might take a picture. Yes, it's gonna hurt, but it no longer, because it's no longer eating at my insecurity. I'm easy enough to be like, okay, if I'm going to stay in this relationship and keep it moving, we need to have a conversation. We need to fix this. We need to figure it out. But in the past, I did bad things.
Girl.
I threw phones out of windows.
And
I threw
everything
phones
else.
against walls.
Love.
Sit up
Okay.
in the middle
I
of the
slapped
class.
somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody ended up in the hospital.
We are
So-
not these things are all not to incriminate ourselves.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I mean, he lied to the doctor and said I ain't do nothing. So technically,
Yeah, I would too if you threatened me and told me you better not say nothing.
I didn't threaten you.
Just brought me there.
I'm just saying, you know, I don't think I did anything
Oh, Candy, don't lie right
incriminating.
now. Don't do it. I'm gonna tell you.
this.
What were
So,
you saying, Amanda?
I'm gonna go ahead and cover my sister.
Okay.
So for me, it's well, as of recent, I've been good, right? But I have a friend that's going through something right now, and they're in the process of getting divorced. And a lot of the reason behind the divorce is how his partner was choosing to manage their insecurity, to the point where they let it really take over the relationship. And it was to the point where my friend was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, if you're not willing to even work at this or work through this or like see someone, talk to me, I can't do this.
Right.
And they decided to divorce. And that's it's wild because it's like, damn, you could have, like, this is something you could have potentially saved had you decided to like work through this with your partner. You know, and that's always unfortunate, but it's just like, it shows you, okay, yeah, insecure, you have to deal with that shit. Like, especially when you're in a relationship with someone else, you have to like look at that, because if it's affecting that person, it's also affecting you too. And it's like, hey, you got to get that toxic shit out. Like, it literally is ruining your relationship. And granted, it's unfortunate. I can't say that I'm not happy about it, but that's a whole nother thing. But, you know,
Childish.
Oh, Lord, we a problem today.
And who would have thought on the topic?
I was about to say, this is not what I was expecting for this.
but I'm being
I was
real though.
expecting
Like,
tears today.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I did not plan on tears
Well,
today.
I'm
know, friend
about
was
to
not
shed
gonna
a
let
few
us cry.
because
No,
I
I'm
am
like a
I'm just
masochist.
I
going
know.
to share with you guys
Oh,
an
Lord.
insecurity that I have right now.
You sound like you lying your ass off.
Right.
But
But
go
I'm
ahead.
serious, though.
Oh, okay. We gonna cry together.
I'm very insecure about the fact that I just licked that mic on that and I'm really upset about it.
We'll stop and get you some out, boyfriend. Oh, shit. I am sorry.
I'm dead ass.
Okay. Oh, baby Jesus. Oh, Lord. Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all.
oh shit.
Told you.
I ain't gonna be playing with this
Childish.
mic no
People
more.
are gonna be like, oh, I thought y'all was about, like you said, Shakira, I thought y'all was about to cry today.
Sometimes
Well, we
it's
not-
tribe
it's
stuff and
not-
it's deep, and
it
other
is.
times it's
But-
full foolery.
But I do think that, like, I think that you can still talk about a topic that may be heavy and
Make it
realistic.
real light when it's all
Right.
childish.
It's real life, real
you
life.
sure
Got real tears
But
in my eyes,
sometimes-
though.
Because
You
some
should
people
have
don't
brought
what you
up
call it.
Insecurities during sex. I was waiting for that one.
Well, it's
that's-
not about sex because I don't have insecurities during sex.
Well, you don't.
At all.
But there are
Ain't
people
you
that
know,
do.
but other people
But there are
do.
people
They
like,
might be people. We'll touch on that bullshit in a second.
shit.
Candy
Well,
said,
shit.
grow up.
Let me
Here we are.
let me state
Are
my damn insecurity in relationships
Okay,
first.
well,
Okay.
shit. There we go.
All right, so let's go there. All right, so we all know I had we had a crazy. Y'all know I had a crazy, at last situation, and I don't necessarily want to talk too bad up on that particular thing. However, I did have insecurities going into that,
Yeah.
and a lot of the insecurities not necessarily from the person going into it, but just from like childhood things. And so I think that, but I was so willing to overcompensate my insecurities. So I didn't, but I don't know how to explain it. So I was so willing to overcompensate my insecurities that I tried to mask them a lot. Like not necessarily show them, but mask them. And so I would just feel it internally versus outwardly. And it was eating me up a lot, eating me up a lot. So I didn't like show it outwardly. But like as things progressed in the relationship that were negative due to bullshit, all it did was heighten it. And it was just like heighten it to the point to where now I'm about to explode.
Yeah, you can't hold it inside
right.
anymore.
And so I would say that I don't necessarily think that my insecurities poked at the relationship, but it didn't help the relationship because if I wasn't so focused on trying to mask my insecurities, there's certain things that I would have addressed differently a lot sooner versus feeling like I don't want to say this or I don't want to do this because is this my insecurity? Because I know I'm aware of this insecurity. And so now I'm hiding from all things rather than addressing some things that should have been addressed that had nothing to do with my insecurities and have everything to do with you. And then when I exploded, it brought back
Things
the
happen.
old me.
I have a question for you though. Do you give yourself grace now as an adult for the person that you were back then?
Yes, as of last year and this year.
Gap in time.
Yeah, so like and I gave myself grace because like I told Wim, because I don't care what y'all say, she's my I can't say it out loud because I don't want her to get in trouble, but she my therapist, y'all. She ain't my real therapist, she my play therapist.
You don't want to say it out loud, then you say it out loud.
But no, because she has like even before I knew what she was going to school for and different things like that, she has the calming voice, and not just her voice, but just her demeanor and her way of thinking. And she also
very funny to say after I just said I licked a mic.
It's okay because that lets me know that you're a human. Like you're not like other people. Like you know how some people who want to give you advice, they try to act like they're away from imperfections,
everything.
right? And so that's just it made it even more relatable. So, but I definitely can say that her, like just being her, and a lot of the times it wasn't even about necessarily her giving me advice. It was more so her about like just telling me like basically kind of like, really girl, like do you really think this, like, or making me devil's advocate, making me look at things from other perspectives, because like I told her the other day, I can argue a case with myself. I can argue a case like a motherfucker. Like if I have a point of view, I can argue a case, and just imagine trying to argue that case against yourself. And so yeah, it's a battle. So
I've been whooping my
ass. I did. I was with my own ass. I had to go to sleep. I was like, you know what? The new me is losing against the old me because the old me got some great arguments and you ain't got your shit together. So, but yeah, no, but in doing so, it made me address, like it made me aware of childhood trauma that I was unaware that really triggered a lot of that. And so in the process of dealing with that and trying to heal from that, it made me see like, okay, because I was unaware of these things, or even trying to fix these things, that how could I have come up with any other option? Yeah. And so like giving myself grace to understand that like if I didn't have the whole picture and basically all the cards to play with, being aware of it, then I was already in a losing game. Yeah.
I feel like that's something that people don't give themselves. Like they don't do that because it's like, and I think that's what magnifies the insecurity, because we don't give ourselves the grace to know that, okay, we didn't have the full game. We didn't have all the instructions when we were, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, whatever. And, we still relish in that, like, oh my God, this is what happened and this is how it could have. And it's like, wait, give yourself grace. But you didn't know about all these terms. You didn't know about all this stuff. You didn't know. So you can't blame yourself for shit that you weren't aware of. And I feel like that's something that we don't do enough of, is giving ourselves that space to be like, hey, you didn't know.
And even so, like, even if you may be aware of to an extent, like, I feel like if people, we're all human too.
Yeah.
And
no one's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. And that's one thing I'm still struggling with today, that part. Like, giving myself grace for the unknown is one thing. Shakira, stop it.
Why are we headbanging?
Stop it. But I do. I do struggle with
fixing my hair.
perfectionism.
That's what it was. It was.
Yeah, I struggle with perfectionism. But because we know we coming up on time, I need to throw this out here real quick so I can get the thing from y'all. So the friend that I told you about earlier, he asked about this particular thing. Like, do we think this will be? We know it's insecurity for guys, but do you think that will create more of an insecurity for women, especially women in America? Because there's been this thing going around that there are a lot of men now in America, they are leaving the country to intentionally go passport bros to go find find their women, and it's most of them are saying because they feel like the women in America only want a man unless he has a whole lot of money and can basically offer you the world, and if you don't, that they feel like
I don't know where it is. I have a question.
with
Where are these? What women are these men talking to?
I hate that narrative.
Well,
yeah,
but
the other side of that narrative, or the women from other countries that say, "Oh no, we can point them out of a crowd when they come, and they come, and we get what we need, and we're very grateful for it. Thank you for coming and spending your money here."
Right.
So,
it's wild. It's like.
Go ahead and waste your money where you want to waste it.
And they feel like that,
means nothing.
And
to
they
me.
feel like that women are more catering to the guy, and like women in America are not. And I feel like that's the women
cater to who's worth being catered to.
That they're
and that's
facts.
They're choosing these Instagram models, or nothing against Instagram models.
They don't
they're
talk
not
about
all
who
the
they
same.
choose.
They're choosing the women that are aesthetically what they want to be seen with, if that makes sense. They're not choosing the women that will cater to them if that's what they want. They're not choosing the women that will hold them down. They're not choosing those women. They're choosing what looks good on the outside and what'll look good on their arm, rather than the women that will ride for them.
And you get to see the results of it, baby.
Right.
I mean,
hey, if that's where you want
to
be.
But I think a lot of them too. I think a lot of them too don't realize that. Especially these men who are making these statements, and maybe some of them who are following the leader because they feel like they're inadequate in some way, and can't get women in America. I guess maybe they feel that we're a little bit too headstrong, because I think in a sense, like based off of like some of the stuff that I was hearing, I feel like a lot of them do feel that we're a little too headstrong, but suck a dick. However, I'm just saying.
They're gonna use this clip and be like, "See, headstrong."
Suck a dick. I mean, it is what it is. Okay, so but I think that some of them, I do think that most of them probably go over there, and that's doing that. They're stupid. Nice way to say it. Stupid. Because like it doesn't make sense to me for you to put everybody in a category, and that goes for anybody, to put everyone in one category and believe that. And so like your insecurities are very much showing, or it might be some of those men who are what do you call it, chauvinistic, and feel like they just want somebody to just control, like, and that's it, and that's what you're looking for. But I do know, aside from those particular people, there are some of them that are making statements that women in America don't, for instance, like cook, clean. Like we know there are women like that, right? But do you think that a lot of that has to do with pushing that men are getting those type of insecurities as well? Not the other ones, but like some of them that may be getting those insecurities as well, because the things that are being pushed out, like women do.
What type of insecurity?
That women in America not just like want men for money, but just want men for, like, they're not willing to do certain things for them, because there are women out there, like we see on social media. Like I've seen got a lot of clippings of women. Like this one woman, I got a clipping the other day from someone, and it was a woman. They were doing an interview with this woman, and she was like, I was with this guy, and like he was like, yeah, he was here and I was here, and he was like, but he stood by my side. He helped me go through school, da 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 da. And she was like, and then we both doing good now. We're up here, we're doing good now. And then something happened where he loses his job. And she was like, he had lost his job, and he had lost his job for, like, I think she said a little bit of time, because something had happened. I don't know if it was an injury or whatever. And she was like, and you know what I did? I left because I ain't taking care of no broke man. Right. And so, like, even though we know, like, because I feel like we look at us, right? And the people that we surround ourselves with, we don't surround ourselves with women like that.
No.
So do you
It's the
think that that's an insecurity? Like, it's a mentality. But my thing is, I'm seeing a lot of
So
this.
are you saying that men are having an insecurity that women will leave them if they
don't
aren't
have their shit
doing,
together.
if they're not doing X?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Not all of them that go over there, because some of them I feel like they just need somebody to control. However, I know that some of them that are pushing out a thing, they're looking for certain things, and this is what they're seeing in America. And like for me, I'm just like, you fucking with the wrong women, right?
Right.
But in reality, don't we do the same thing? Like, we look at a lot of shit that men do, like in the masses, or like just what's going on in today's world. Like for me, I'm not big on Houston dudes. Like,
Same.
period. I feel like they move different. Like, and I don't like the way they move. There's a very select few that I seen that I feel like is decent, but that's a very select few. And I'm just like, and not to knock any of y'all, because I don't know all y'all. However,
a lot of y'all move the same fucking way.
Most of the ones that I've seen, that I've seen personally, I don't like the way they move, and this is what I'm exposed to.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And then you get on social media, and then you see these exposures even heightened.
Yeah.
And so, like, for men, try my best to give some of y'all motherfuckers some grace, the ones that's being these passport bros. I don't. Because I really just, because some of y'all,
but you know what it is that really makes me mad about it? It's like you automatically assume that women from these other countries are going to take your shit. Like,
exactly.
Like, you think
full disrespect,
fully disrespectful, that they gonna take your shit,
right?
And it's like, and you have the room to be disrespectful and all this shit, and it's like, okay, you keep playing around. When she cut your shit off, and it be in the middle of the goddamn road,
my thing is, we're looking at it from the negative aspect. What if they really looking for a woman that is a good woman, not necessarily, and not to be an asshole to them, not to do whatever to them.
That's cool.
I'm looking at it from the other perspective, because I already know that there are men, like I know there's the asshole men who want to control somebody.
Insecurity.
Yeah, like, or is it an actual insecurity?
You're in.
Tag.
Okay.
I'm
so
jokes.
the only issue that I have with these men that want the women that say they want them to cook and clean and cater to them, I'll be happy to cook and clean and cater to you. But if I'm working for 40 hours a week, just like you doing, okay, you're not gonna help cook, clean, and help cater to me as well. I don't mind the men that are going overseas and finding women, but most of the time when they bring those women back, they can't go to work, right? So they'll be able to sit at home and cook and clean and take care of your children, and they have the ability to take care of these women, and they go in with the mindset of, okay, I know that they're gonna have to be here, and I'm gonna have to take care of them, and they're gonna do this at home. So I get that. I get it 100%. But the men that are going in with the mindset that I just want somebody that'll cook and clean, getting with an American woman, especially a Black woman, we were built with this mindset of we're going to have to go out there and work as well. If you want me to work and cook and clean and all of these things,
have to be a partner, baby.
Yeah, it's a partnership. To me, a relationship, a marriage is a partnership.
It is.
I don't mind following a man that can lead me, because like Jill Scott said,
if you can tell me
what to do, you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
Big facts.
So that's how I feel about the situation. I don't know if it's building on a man's insecurity of the woman's going to leave me if I don't have money, because most of the Black women that I know, most of the Black women in my family will stay by their man's side, have helped their men build themselves back up, stuck by their side, helped them find a job. But I also, and y'all know that I have a current family member that's dealing with some stuff. I feel like a man, when he loses his job and he has a family, he falls into a depression without even realizing what he's dealing with is depression, if that makes sense. Because now you're like, oh man, that's what I wanted to do with my life, or that's what I expected to do for so many years, and now I don't have this job.
That was what was taking care of
now
us.
I got to go out here and find it. Well, when you're going out here to find it, you're not willing to accept something that you feel is beneath you. Whereas a woman just trying to make money to pay the bills a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then get herself elevated to a place where she's back where she was. I know that's where I was.
Yeah, but again, you said, like I was saying, you said family members and like people that we are around, and most of those family members tend to be a little bit older, and there's a select few that are younger, but most of my older family members, they're there through thick and thin. The younger ones, some of them motherfuckers ain't shit.
Nope.
Like just that's just
And
be
then
realistic.
also-
That's just
And
being
also,
realistic.
I do notice that these women these girls, are coming out here in this world like, if he ain't got this, if he ain't got that, then I'm not gonna deal with him and da 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 da. But I also feel like the men that get with these women, when they already know how their mentality is and how these girls are moving, that's an issue on both their ends.
Right. But do
Because
you think that
you chose that?
Yeah, but I think that when we talk about stuff, the insecurities that men have when they are seeking the type of women that they're seeking, we jump down they fucking throats with no grace. But yet when we talk about women with the same type of insecurities, same type of trauma, and then they deal with the same bullshit with men, we give them grace because we're like, oh, I can understand this, and like we're coming from us, and we're not doing that, especially for our black men. We're not doing that for them because they are still, at the end of the day, they're still human, and they're gonna have insecurities. Like how fucked up it may be, they still have insecurities. So like, how do we stop that and give them grace, or at least give them some type of advice, like to like look, other than go fix that shit, like as in therapy or whatever.
I mean, go fix that shit is a part of the advice.
Right, like as a part of it, but understanding that we do give you grace and we understand like why you may feel the way you do is still wrong.
I also feel like a woman or a girl that gets with a dude that has nothing can't complain later on down the road because you choose what you want in the end, right?
To an extent.
If you get with a hardworking man, even if he has no job, but you see that he's hardworking regardless, like he gonna pick up the slack some type of way. He's gonna do his part in the partnership. That's what you chose. That's what you expect to have, right? But if you go out and get with a bum, male or female, expect that person to be a bum because that's what you chose.
Oh no, I agree with that. But some of them, like I said, with some people, they mask what it is. Like you saying, like there's women saying I want this and I want that, and there's men that saying I want this and want that. But all of them are not for like putting that shit on the table. Up front for them people to be aware of. That's all I'm looking for. However, we're gonna finish this topic a different type of way, like kind of slide this in here because we're gonna have to bring it back and not just on insecurities because we are running low on time today. So we're gonna hurry up and wrap this up and say our goodbyes. All right, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of our Tribe Foolery, even though we started off a little rusty. And again,
outro.
Sure, I got it. I think I got it. Oh yeah, because I did it last week.
I'm listening. Come on.
Okay, well, nah, shit, I'm put myself pressure. Okay, okay, guys. So make sure you go and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and possibly Twitter. We gotta whisper that one because we don't do that one that much. And then definitely on TikTok, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, even Google Podcasts, as well as watch us on YouTube, which I think is more entertaining to watch us because we know we do some dumb shit. But definitely follow us, guys, and thank you. And we're gonna leave out again. I'm Candy.
I'm Time.
And I'm Amanda.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, sexy. All right.
She said, baby, what you gonna do about